Bitcoin stories from the view of a full-blown Bitcoin maxi. So in this whole process of working in Texas and working in Georgia for Bitcoin, it's been an interesting blend of people. Like I said before, predominantly you have a lot of people that are Bitcoin miners, Bitcoin maxis that just, this is the future, this is what's going to save humanity, and then they're all in on it. And then you have some people that are not. They're just like, I just fell into this because of happenstance, or this connection here, or this skill set that I have here, and that was marketable. And so here I am. I know a little bit about Bitcoin, or maybe I don't know nothing about Bitcoin. I don't understand Bitcoin at all. There's some of that too. And so because of that, there have been some very interesting experiences for someone like me who is here for the Bitcoin, working with somebody who's got a great, is a good person, and I'm not talking down about anybody whatsoever, one iota, so please don't misunderstand me. But working for somebody who kind of just either doesn't care or doesn't really know all that much, or only knows a little bit about Bitcoin, but they're working in Bitcoin. They have a job. They are getting a paycheck and feeding their family because of Bitcoin, and they're still kind of like, I don't really understand what's going on with Bitcoin. So story number one is a great friend. I'm going to call him a friend, even though we've only worked together for a week. We've had a lot of conversations because we're very much on the same level. He and I feel we're similar age, similar maturity level, similar life experience. We both traveled a lot, and so it's been an interesting time talking to him, because I feel like when I'm talking to him, I'm talking to myself only just a short 1 or 2 years ago. Back when I was mining Ethereum, or I was still sort of Ethereum friendly, Polygon friendly. I like the features of smart contracts. I think that's really important, and we should do that. I'm not that way anymore at all. And now I'm full blown Bitcoin only. No, I don't want smart contracts. They don't make any sense. We can do, you can do that in a centralized fashion. That's fine. One of the things that came up that I found was very interesting for somebody who is actually very well versed in crypto and Bitcoin, understands in at least to some degree, certainly much more than most, what mining is and how it works, and what it is and what it does, how crypto works and what it is and what it does. It said to me that it came up in a conversation basically that hash rate is related to price for a proof of work coin, and I immediately was like, no. Hash rate is not related to price in any way, shape, or form. I know there's some other YouTubers out there, mining YouTubers out there, who have this same belief, and I've also heard this on Twitter a lot from some other crypto people who say that hash rate is related to price, and it absolutely is not. My economics training has taught me that price is determined by one thing and one thing only, which can be broken down into two things, and that is supply and demand. That is it. There's nothing else that is going to determine price of any commodity, any asset in the world other than supply and demand. Now, I kind of acquiesced a little bit in this discussion, because I said hash rate doesn't affect the price directly, but maybe it does indirectly. Like I will concede that hash rate affects price indirectly, and that is in the way that it could affect demand. Maybe it could affect demand. And then I thought about it further after I said it, and I was like, no, it doesn't. I have been in this space for 3 years now. I have not ever seen a single person, or talked to a single person, or read a single thread, or read a single tweet that was like, Bitcoin hash rate's going up, therefore I'm going to buy some because that means the price is going up. There is no correlation at all between hash rate and price. None at all. And if you don't believe me, or if you want evidence, just take two charts. Take the price chart and take the hash rate chart. The hash rate chart just goes like this, just goes, if you zoom out far enough. And if you zoom out the same distance, the same timeline distance on the price, it goes like this, and even if you turn it into a log, it goes like this. It kind of has more of an arc like this as opposed to this. So they're not correlated just by looking at those two charts side by side. And then I thought about it later more, and I was like, there's another piece of evidence. If you don't believe me, I stayed awake on September 15th, 2022, during the merge, and in which my rig was basically getting kicked offline and saying like, nope, you can't mine Ethereum anymore. What happened to the price of Ethereum during that time? Nothing. Absolutely zero effect on the price at all. And then we're not talking about like, oh, the hash rate changed. We're talking, no, they completely changed their consensus algorithm altogether. They went from hashing an absolute ton of scattered across GPUs all over the world to zero. And the price didn't do anything. It didn't go up and it didn't go down any more so than the grander total crypto market put together. It is all about supply and demand. It is about how much a buyer is willing to pay for a product and how much a seller is willing to get for that product. That's it. That is the only thing that determines price for anything in the world, period, end of story. Again, I will concede that hash rate or consensus algorithm might maybe affect psychological buyer demand, but look at Bitcoin. First of all, the hash rate and the price are not correlated at all. And then second of all, look at Ethereum. They changed their consensus algorithm, and even that didn't affect the buyer psychology or the seller psychology of Ethereum. The price didn't budge at all. It just kept, it just crabbed along for the next few weeks, just like Bitcoin did back then in late 2022. So hash rate has absolutely nothing to do with price. What a hash rate has to do with is how competitive is it to earn Bitcoin without buying it? How competitive is it to get newly minted Bitcoin in your wallet for the cost of electricity and the cost of equipment? And if you're a big multi-million dollar company, the cost of employment, the cost of skills and labor. That's it. That's what hash rate is about. How much are you willing to deploy in terms of capital in order to earn this thing? Because how much do you believe that this is going to become valuable in the future? Okay, this is just like gold. This is literally digital gold. How much capital are you willing to deploy to dig into the ground and find gold and pull it out and refine it and clean it and smelt it down and sell it on the market? That's what determines the price. Not the hash rate. Not the hash rate. So, and then of course, and not just that determines the price. That plus obviously all the buyers on the market who want to own it, want to possess it, want to hold it, or companies like MicroStrategy and others that want to add it to their balance sheets. And soon, hopefully, we'll see spot ETFs, spot Bitcoin ETFs with the likes of BlackRock and Fidelity and many others. So but anyway, my whole point is it's all about supply and demand. That's what determines price. Hash rate has nothing to do with it. The one thing that hash rate absolutely has to do with is security. The higher the hash rate, the higher the security. The higher the hash rate, the more absolutely implausible it is that anyone, any nation state, or any alien technology can hack Bitcoin, can take it over, can steal it, can change the code and all the rest. That's what hash rate has to do. Okay, so that's my first Bitcoin story. That's my first story from Bitcoin Stories from the view of a full-blown Maxi.